I'm excited to see what we're going to do offensively. Just one goal that we have every play is to score. So Coach McGee has assured us that he has assured Coach Nickerson that as long as we keep him under 39, we're going to win a lot of football games. So I'm
keeping them under 39 seems like a reasonable goal for Lovie Smith and the Fighting Illini, particularly given how good the defense was a year ago for Illinois. Former Chicago Bears head coach taking over back in the spot where he made a name for himself as head coach, taking the Bears to a Super Bowl. You see what he inherits south of here in Champaign. A lot of production returning from that offense, not as much from the defense, which was the strength of the team last year. Has a starting quarterback back in West Lunt. Does have to replace a couple of key performers, including Josh Ferguson and Jihad Ward. Great to have Lovie Smith in the Big Ten in college athletics. I mean, it's funny how things go, right? I mean, here you are a year ago, you're cruising along, trying to rebuild Tampa Bay. I don't think you probably ever imagined that you'd be sitting here as the head coach of Illinois. What excited you about this opportunity and made you think that this was a risk worth taking?
Well, I didn't see it as a risk. You know, I'm a coach, been a coach all my life, love the game, love coaching young men, simple as that. I live every day. It's about the next day. I make too many plans, too many things in advance. So for me, it was just another great opportunity to coach a university. From my time in Chicago, I had a chance to look at the university from afar and always saw the potential, so it was easy to jump on board.
Coach, I know no one has asked you the difference between college football and pro football since you've taken.
That is a really unique question.
So I'm going to try to make it a little different. X and O wise. Yes. Now that you've watched some Illinois tape and college tape, what's the difference X and O wise?
Well, X and O defensively, you know, I haven't seen a big difference between it. Maybe a little bit more blitzing in the college game, but some basic things you still see. The offensive part, though, is a little bit different, you know, spread offenses. You know, Gerry, that's what's changed a little bit since the last time I was in college football. The spread offenses, whether it be with some form of option, one-back running games, some of those things, no huddle offenses. So these are some things that we'll have to adjust, and we will.
What do you want the identity of this football team to be, ultimately?
Howard, the first thing we talk about, you know, is just how we play. You know, play hard every down, you know, effort. We want to be a disciplined football team, you know, that has an opportunity to win. And then from there you go into your basic philosophy. Offensive football for us, I believe in a running game. Whether it be one back, two backs in the backfield, you have to have a running game. We will have put an emphasis on our running game on the offensive side. And defensively, it's about taking the ball away. We want to stop the run and play hard, but it's about takeaways.
West Line predicts to be one of the better players in the conference. How similar is the offense going to be for him so that he doesn't have a lot to learn, so maybe his skill level takes over?
Well, there'll be a multiple attack that we'll have on the offensive side of the football. But eventually, you know, Gerry, your quarterback needs to be able to throw the football, all right? And whether it be play action and regular downs, third down situations where you have to be able to make a play, Wes can do that. I think he can make all of the different throws. To have a guy that's calm, that knows how to be a leader. He's not going to start jerking guys on the sideline when they come off the field, but he'll get the point across on what he needs.
When you think about the defensive side, you're known for the cover two. Is that going to be an integral part of what you're doing at the college level? And can you do that in different ways and be able to get pressure as well?
I think every year is about adjustments and you seeing what you need to do to be able to play good football. Defensively, every year I've ever coached football, we've had some form of cover two in our package. We will have that. As far as how much we'll use, but it's about stopping the run and being able to get an extra guy in the box. We have a multiple attack defensively. Most people assume it's just some form of two, but we'll be able to do it all and we'll need to.
You've answered this question about recruiting having changed since the last time you've done it. What's changed about it? What's the biggest surprise to you?
The biggest surprise, Gerry, a little bit, was the amount of time. You know, it really is 12 months out of the year. It seems like it never stops. even recruiting players. I mean, it's just not about guys that would be seniors next year, guys that would be juniors next year.
Right.
And just the emphasis that's placed on it. Used to you could have a conversation with an athlete. Now you have a conversation with an athlete, and then you see it on Twitter and social media. So just people are really involved with the recruiting aspect of it, and we're adjusting.
Who's heading that up for you?
Josh Sternquist is the guy that's in charge of our personnel. So he'll be recruiting coordinator. His department will actually lead it. And again, it's been nonstop. I've enjoyed, though. Most people say, hey, Lovie, you can't like recruiting, coming from the NFL. But I've enjoyed, talking about our university, talking to the different parents about what we could do, for their son.
Compare this as far as staffs are concerned, and really the back end of it, from the pro level to the college. Are you finding that you need more staff at the college level than you're accustomed to having with on a daily basis at the pro level?
Yeah, this first year, my first year in college, I don't want to be the leading the torch for a lot of rule changes, but there are a couple things that I'm having a hard time understanding. One of them
This
is a perfect opportunity.
One of them, Howard, is, in NFL, you can have unlimited staff. So I'm talking about as far as your instruction, Gerry, on the field.
Right.
In college, 9 full-time coaches, a head coach, and 4 graduate assistants. But all of our staffs, we have staffs of about, on an average, 27. Just like to be able to have more instruction for our athletes. We have twice as many athletes as NFL has, but we have less coaches. I'm having a hard time understanding that.
Lovie, it used to be unlimited, and then when money got tight back in the mid-'70s and '80s, that's why they cut it back. It seems to me, to your point, everyone has enough money now. They might be able to expand their staffs.
And Gerry, again, there's on an average 27 is what I'm told everyone has. So we are hiring those people. We're just telling them you can do a lot of things, but you can't coach.
Right.
So that's what we need to change.
That's a slippery slope as well.
I'll leave it alone.
These guys have been through a lot in the last year. I mean, you, in essence, are their 3rd head coach in the last calendar year. How much did you have to work on building trust, building morale, that type of thing?
I think sometimes with change, you don't have to do a lot of that. I just know from my initial meeting with them, they have, with open arms, Coach, what do we need to do? Them just buying into how we're going to win football games. I know we all have a past, and I want to move on from my past too. So we're both in the same situation, and we're just excited about this marriage that we have and what we're going to do going forward.
You were talking a little bit a moment ago about the coaching staff, and I'm interested. You are a defensive guy through and through. That's where you have made your name. You hired Hardy Nickerson as your defensive coordinator. How involved are you going to be with the day-to-day game planning with Hardy? Are you going to be in the defensive room, the offensive room? How are you going to split your time?
Well, they let me go in both rooms, and I'm going to do that. And with the special teams too. But I won't be calling defensive signals on game day. Hardy Nickerson will do that. Garrett McGee will call our offensive plays. But I will be involved. As a head football coach, I want to know what we're doing. I'm going to set the tempo on our basics philosophy that we'll have, and but you have to get good coaches and let them be able to coach, and I'll do that.
We're really great to have you in the league. Thrilled to have you on our set as well. Lovie Smith, head coach of the University of Illinois. Thanks a lot for your time, Coach, and we look forward to watching the Fighting Illini in the season to come.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Coach.